A 7-year-old boy walked up to the most dangerous-looking man in the restaurant and said, "My mom has a tattoo, just like yours." The biker's face went completely white. Chen didn't understand fear the way adults did. While every parent in Roadside Rest pulled their children closer, as 8 massive Harleys rumbled into the parking lot, Tyler's eyes lit up with pure fascination. The chrome, the leather, the patches. To him, these weren't threats, they were living legends. The Hell's Angels who walked through that door looked exactly like what people feared. Connor Ghost Riley led them, 58 years old, 6'2", silver streaking through black hair, arms covered in ink that told stories most people wouldn't want to hear. His leather vest bore patches that needed no explanation. The skull with wings. The letters that made grown men look away. President. Desert Riders chapter. Behind him, 7 brothers moved with the practiced ease of men who'd ridden together for decades. Scarred knuckles. Weathered faces. Boots that had walked through more than their share of trouble. The restaurant went silent. Forks stopped mid-air. Conversations died. Linda, the hostess, gripped her menus so tight her knuckles went white. A young mother near the window physically turned her toddler's face away from the bikers, as if their very appearance might corrupt him. But Chen, sitting with his grandmother in the corner booth, couldn't look away. Mrs. Chen noticed immediately. "Tyler," she whispered sharply in Mandarin, gripping his small hand. "Don't stare. Those men are dangerous." Tyler ignored her. His 7-year-old mind saw something different. Adventure. Freedom. Power. The bikers settled into 2 booths near the back. They moved with deliberate calm, filling the space without saying a word. Ghost took the seat facing the entrance, old habit, his sharp eyes scanning once before he relaxed. Linda approached with visible trembling. "Welcome to Roadside Rest. Can I start you gentlemen? With drinks?" Ghost looked up, and his expression softened. "Coffee. Black. And whatever pie you've got fresh." His voice was surprisingly gentle. "Been riding 6 hours straight," the others ordered politely. No threats. No demands. Just tired men wanting food. The tension in the restaurant shifted slightly. These men weren't causing trouble. Not yet. That's when Tyler made his move. Before Mrs. Chen could react, the little boy slid out of the booth and walked straight toward Ghost's table. His grandmother gasped, reaching out too late. "Tyler! Huilai!" But Tyler was already there. He walked right up to Ghost's table, his small frame barely reaching the edge. The other bikers noticed immediately. Conversation stopped. 7 pairs of eyes locked onto this fearless child. Ghost turned his head. For a moment, the entire restaurant held its breath. Tyler looked up at the intimidating man with bright, curious eyes, completely unfazed. Then, with the innocent boldness only a child possesses, he spoke clearly enough for the silent restaurant to hear. "Hello, sir. My mother has a tattoo just like yours." The words detonated like a bomb. Ghost's expression froze. His eyes narrowed, studying the child with an intensity that would make grown men uncomfortable. The massive biker beside him, shaved head, scar across his cheek, leaned forward slowly. Another biker, younger with a long beard, went completely still. Mrs. Chen covered her mouth, her face draining of color. The entire restaurant stopped breathing. Ghost slowly set down his coffee cup. His gaze moved from Tyler's innocent face to his own exposed forearm, where an intricate tattoo was clearly visible. A flaming phoenix rising from chains, detailed shading, specific symbols woven into the feathers. It wasn't the official Hell's Angel death head, but it was distinctive, meaningful, not something you'd see on a casual tattoo enthusiast. "Just like mine," Ghost repeated slowly, his voice low and controlled. His eyes, sharp as broken glass, studied Tyler. "Your mother has this exact tattoo?" Tyler nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, sir. She has a bird with fire and chains on her shoulder. She showed me once when I asked about it." She said it was from a long time ago. Before I was born. The atmosphere shifted from tense to electric. Ghost's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. The massive biker with the scar sat back heavily, muttering something under his breath. The younger one exchanged a loaded glance with Ghost. Mrs. Chen found her voice. "Tyler." Her tone was sharp with panic. "Come back here right now." "I'm so sorry, sir." "He doesn't understand." Ghost raised one hand, a simple gesture that silenced her immediately. His attention remained fixed on Tyler. "What's your mother's name, son?" Tyler beamed, happy to answer. "Her name is Lisa, Lisa Chen. Well, it used to be Lisa Martinez before she married my dad, but they're not together anymore. If the restaurant had been quiet before, it became a tomb." Ghost's face went completely still. Something flickered behind his eyes, a flash of recognition, of memory, of something profound and painful. The massive biker swore softly. The younger one slowly shook his head, a strange smile playing at his lips. "Lisa Martinez," Ghost repeated. There was something in his voice now that hadn't been there before. Not anger. Shock. Deep, bone-rattling shock. He looked at Tyler with new eyes, really seeing him now. "And where is your mother now?" Ghost asked, his voice carefully controlled. "She's at work," Tyler said simply. "She works at the hospital. She's a nurse. Grandma takes care of me after school, until Mom gets home." He pointed back at Mrs. Chen, who looked ready to faint. Ghost was quiet for a long moment. The other bikers remained frozen, watching their president, waiting for his lead. Finally, Ghost gestured to the empty space beside him. "Why don't you sit down for a minute, Tyler? I'd like to hear more about this tattoo." Mrs. Chen started to object, but something in Ghost's expression stopped her. It wasn't threatening. It was something else entirely, something that looked almost like vulnerability. Tyler climbed into the booth with fearless innocence, his little legs swinging above the floor. "It's really pretty," Tyler continued. "Mom doesn't show it much. She keeps it covered for work. But I saw it once when she was getting ready, and I asked her about it." "And what did she tell you?" Ghost asked, his voice softer now. "She said it was from when she was young and wild, before she became a mom. She said she used to ride motorcycles with friends who became her family. She called them her brothers and sisters of the road." Tyler looked up at Ghost with innocent admiration. "Are you one of those brothers?" The question hit like a physical blow. Ghost's weathered face showed genuine emotion for the first time, a crack in the tough exterior. He looked away briefly, jaw working, as he processed something deeply personal. When he looked back at Tyler, his eyes were different. Warmer somehow, but also filled with old pain. "Maybe I was," Ghost said quietly. "A long time ago." He reached into his vest and pulled out a business card, placing it carefully on the table. "Tyler, would it be okay if I called your mom? I think she and I might have some catching up to do." That evening, Lisa Chen came home from her 12-hour shift at County Memorial, exhausted, her scrubs stained with coffee and antiseptic. She found her mother standing in the hallway with an expression Lisa had never seen before. Shock, confusion, and something that might have been understanding. "Mom, what's wrong?" Lisa dropped her bag immediately. Mrs. Chen handed her a business card. Her hand trembled. "A man named Ghost came to the restaurant today. Tyler walked right up to him and told him you have the same tattoo." Lisa's face went completely white. Her hand flew instinctively to her shoulder, where, beneath her scrubs, the phoenix tattoo lay hidden. The tattoo she'd kept covered for 15 years. The tattoo that represented a life she'd buried. "Ghost was here," she whispered. "Connor was here. He wants you to call him." Mrs. Chen's voice was softer now. "He said to tell you. Phoenix vastite is people. The phoenix rises from the ashes." Lisa sank into the nearest chair, the business card trembling in her hands. Tears filled her eyes without permission. "Mom, he told me things," Mrs. Chen continued quietly, "about what you did when you were with them, things you never told me. He said you saved 3 lives. pulled a burning man from a wrecked motorcycle, talked someone out of suicide, donated bone marrow to save a child. Lisa looked up, tears streaming down her face. I couldn't tell you. I knew you'd never understand. But those people, they saved me. When I was broken, they gave me family when I felt like I had nothing. Why did you leave? Her mother asked. Because Ghost told me to. Lisa's voice cracked. He saw that I wanted something different. A normal life. Stability. A family. He said I deserved more than the road could give me. So he made me promise to leave, to build the life I really wanted. Walking away from them was the hardest thing I ever did. Tyler came running into the room. Mom, did Grandma tell you? I met your biker friend. Ghost. He was so cool. He said you were family. Lisa pulled her son into her arms, holding him tight. Yeah, baby. They were family. They still are. That night, after Tyler was asleep, Lisa sat in her kitchen, staring at Ghost's number. 15 years had passed since she'd left the Desert Riders chapter. 15 years since she'd traded her leather vest for scrubs, her Harley for a minivan, the open road for stability. She'd built a good life. A respectable life. She'd become the woman her mother always wanted her to be. But that phoenix on her shoulder was a reminder of who she'd been. Who, in some ways, she still was. She dialed. It rang twice before a familiar voice answered. This is Ghost. This is Ghost. The phoenix remembers, Lisa said softly, her voice thick with emotion. Even after the ashes have scattered, there was a long pause. Then Ghost's voice, rough with feeling. Firebird. I can't believe it's really you. They talked for 3 hours that night. About the roads they'd traveled, the brothers and sisters they'd lost, the lives they'd built. Ghost told her about the chapter who was still riding, who'd settled down, who'd died. Lisa told him about nursing school, about Tyler, about the quiet life she'd carved out. Did I make the right choice? She asked finally. Leaving? Yes, Ghost said without hesitation. You became exactly who you were meant to be, Lisa. You saved lives then. You save lives now. Just in a different way. Stay. I miss it sometimes, she admitted. We never stopped being brothers and sisters, Ghost said. Family doesn't end because you choose a different road. A week later, Ghost came to dinner with 2 brothers, Razor and Mike, both men Lisa had ridden with 15 years ago. Mrs. Chen, nervous but softened by Ghost's words at the restaurant, opened her home to them. Lisa watched these massive, tattooed men remove their boots at the door without being asked. Watched them accept tea from her mother with genuine respect. Watched them talk to Tyler about responsibility, education, and honoring your family. Tyler sat wide-eyed as they told stories about his mother. The fearless woman who could ride faster than most men. Who never backed down from a fight. Who saved Razor's life when his bike went down at 90 miles per hour. Your mom, Ghost said, crouching down to Tyler's eye level, was one of the bravest people I've ever known. She lived with honor. And when she needed to change, she had the courage to make it. Remember that, kid. Real strength isn't just about being tough. It's about knowing when to choose a different path. Ghost pulled out an old photograph Lisa, at 23, young and wild, sitting on a Harley with a grin that spoke of pure freedom, her phoenix tattoo visible on her shoulder, fresh ink gleaming in the sunlight. This was your mom before you were born, Ghost said to Tyler. She was Firebird. She was legend. Tyler looked at the photo, then at his mother. You look so happy. I was, Lisa said, wiping tears from her eyes. I was happy then. And I'm happy now. Different kinds of happy. As the bikers prepared to leave, Mrs. Chen did something that shocked everyone. She bowed slightly to Ghost. I apologize, she said quietly. I judged you without knowing. I see now. You were my daughter's family. When she needed one. Ghost smiled, his weathered face transforming. Mrs. Chen, Lisa's lucky to have both families. We all are. He turned to Lisa. You're always welcome on the road, Firebird. Anytime. But I see what you've built here. It's good. It's right. Lisa hugged him tight. Thank you for letting me go. Thank you for giving me permission to be something different. You were never anything different, Ghost said. You were always exactly who you are. The Phoenix just found a new way to fly. As the motorcycles rumbled away into the night, Lisa stood on her porch with Tyler and her mother, feeling whole for the first time in 15 years. She'd spent so long thinking she had to choose the road or the home, Firebird or Lisa, wild or respectable. But she was both. Always had been. The tattoo on her shoulder wasn't a reminder of a life she'd left behind. It was proof that she'd survived, transformed, and risen from the ashes into something stronger. Mrs. Chen squeezed her daughter's hand. I see now. They were your family. And so are you, Lisa said. I'm lucky to have both. Sometimes family wears leather. Sometimes angels have tattoos. Sometimes the people who look most dangerous are the ones who save you. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose a different road, not because the first one was wrong, but because you've earned the right to decide who you want to become. The Phoenix rises. Always.